The one who left me behind. I was 23 when I met Clara, and for a while I thought she was going to be my whole life. We met the way a lot of college kids meet, through friends at a party where the music was too loud and the beer was too warm, and the lights were dim enough to make everyone look prettier than they were. But Clara didn't need the dim lights. She had this presence about her that made the whole room feel like it revolved around her. People leaned in when she spoke, laughed too hard at her jokes, carried her drinks without being asked. She had that kind of selfish gravity some people are just born with, magnetic, irresistible, but dangerous if you got too close. I didn't recognize it then. To me, she was electric. She was majoring in marketing, always dressed like she was headed to a job interview, always the loudest voice in the room. I was quieter, the kind of guy who blended into the background. I studied engineering, kept my head down, did my work. People noticed me when they needed help with their homework, not when they wanted to have fun. Clara noticed me, though. Or at least, she pretended to. She found me sitting on the back steps at that party, away from the noise. She asked me why I was hiding, teased me about being mysterious. I stumbled through my answers, too distracted by the fact that she was actually talking to me. And by the end of the night, she kissed me, just like that. No build-up, no hesitation. 1 second she was laughing, the next her lips were on mine, and my entire world flipped upside down. I think that's how she operated, with speed, with certainty, with this boldness that made you forget to question whether it was real or not. The honeymoon phase. The first 6 months were the best of my life. We were inseparable. She liked the way I listened, the way I didn't try to compete for attention. I liked the way she lit up every space she entered. We'd spend nights in my tiny apartment, me cooking us cheap pasta dinners while she told me her plans for the future, how she wanted to move to New York, work for some big firm, be the kind of person who made things happen. I believed in her. I believed in us. When she said she didn't want to be tied down, I said I understood. When she said she hated clingy people, I made sure never to text her first too often. When she said she wasn't ready for long-term promises, I told her I could be patient. I bent myself into shapes to fit the outline of what she wanted. And for a while, it worked. We laughed. We touched. We whispered secrets in the dark. She was the first person I ever said I love you to, and when she said it back, I thought my chest might burst. The cracks appear. But slowly, the cracks began to show. Clara liked to win. In everything. Arguments, games, even who could walk faster to the train station. She liked to be admired, adored, the center of the spotlight. And I was just another person orbiting her. I started noticing how her compliments always came with a twist. You're so smart, but you'd be more impressive if you dressed better. You're sweet, but you should learn to speak up more like me. She compared me to other guys constantly, friends who were more ambitious, classmates who were already doing internships, even exes who knew how to take charge. At first, I tried harder. I signed up for more projects, bought nicer clothes, forced myself to be louder in social situations. Nothing was ever enough. She started canceling plans last minute, choosing nights out with her friends or sometimes with guys I didn't know over our dinners. She'd laugh it off, call me dramatic if I mentioned feeling left out. Don't be so sensitive, she'd say. The world doesn't revolve around you. And the worst part was, I believed her. The breaking point. The end came not with a bang but a slow unraveling. It was our 2-year anniversary. I'd saved for months to take her out to this fancy rooftop restaurant downtown, the kind with white tablecloths and waiters who judged you for ordering the cheapest wine. I showed up in a new suit, nervous but excited, holding a small velvet box in my pocket, not an engagement ring, but a necklace I knew she'd been eyeing for months. She never showed. I sat there for an hour, 2, watching the waiters give me pitying looks. I texted, I called. Finally, she answered slurring, laughing. She was at some club with her friends. Relax, she said when I asked if she remembered what day it was. Why are you always trying to control me? God, you're so needy sometimes. That was the night something inside me broke. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I just left the restaurant, walked home under the city lights, and sat in my apartment staring at the necklace until the sun came up. The next day, she acted like nothing happened. She came over, kissed me, told me I worried too much. And for the first time, I didn't kiss her back. The collapse. The breakup happened 2 weeks later. Or rather, she ended it. She said she needed space, that she couldn't be with someone who held her back. She said I was too nice, that I lacked ambition. And then she left, just like that. I won't pretend I handled it well. I was wrecked. I stopped eating, stopped sleeping, stumbled through my classes like a ghost. Every corner of the city reminded me of her, our coffee shop, our train stop, even the damn grocery store where we used to argue about which pasta brand was better. I hated her. I missed her. I hated myself for missing her. Nights were the worst. I'd lie in bed replaying everything she ever said, every smile, every kiss, trying to figure out where I went wrong. Was I really not enough? Was I really that pathetic? For months, I drowned in that darkness. The climb. Healing wasn't a single moment. It was a slow, agonizing climb out of a hole I thought would bury me. It started small. I went to the gym not to impress anyone, just to burn through the restless energy. I started running, then lifting. For the first time in my life, I felt my body grow stronger, more grounded. I poured myself into my studies, then into side projects. I built an app with a couple of classmates, just for fun. It got attention. Then funding. One thing led to another, and suddenly, I wasn't just the quiet kid in the back anymore. I was presenting at conferences, leading a small team, building something people actually cared about. And with every step forward, Clara's voice in my head, "You're not ambitious enough, you're too nice, you'll never be important," grew fainter. The turn. 5 years passed. The app turned into a company. The company turned into something bigger than I ever imagined. I was traveling, meeting people I used to read about in articles, getting invitations to events I never thought I'd belong at. I wasn't famous, not in the way celebrities are, but in my field, people knew my name. I was making an impact. And more importantly, I was happy. Not perfect, not unscarred, but genuinely, quietly happy. I had friends who saw me for me. I had a purpose that filled the empty spaces Clara once occupied. That's when the message came. It was late on a Tuesday night. A DM on Instagram. From Clara. She said she'd seen me in a magazine feature. She said she was proud of me. She said she missed me. For a long time, I just stared at the screen. The confession. I never replied. Because here's the truth, Clara was right about one thing. The world doesn't revolve around me. But it also doesn't revolve around her. Not anymore. I don't hate her. I don't even resent her. In a twisted way, I'm grateful. She broke me so completely that I had no choice but to rebuild myself from the ground up. And the person I became, stronger, braver, more alive, that person never would have existed if she hadn't left me. But I'll never go back. This is my confession, I guess. Not to Clara, not even really to anyone else, but to myself. That sometimes, the people who hurt us the most are the ones who push us toward the life we were meant to live. And that moving on doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing yourself, every single day, until one morning you wake up and realize you don't need them anymore. I'm important now. Not because Clara finally noticed, but because I finally did.